Colin Kaepernick says his former teammate Aldon Smith did not wreck his car. I am Jim Basquell. This despite internet reports that the two had a disagreement resulting in Smith smashing Kaepernick's Mercedes. Smith has since been released by the team. His fifth arrest, third involving DUI since 2011. Kaepernick did say it couldn't be a Mercedes as he has a deal with Jaguar. Let's bring in Paul Gutierrez, who covers the San Francisco 49ers. And Paul, it's been quite an eventful offseason for the 49ers. What can you tell us, if anything, regarding the relationship or any friction between the two prior to Smith's ultimate incident with the car?
Well, you know, what's interesting about that whole deal is that as these reports kept coming out, there were little nuggets of information that just were not factually correct, that helped to tie this whole picture together. One is that the initial report said that they got in a fight in practice on Thursday. Well, there was no practice Thursday. There was nobody at the facility. They were shut down. And then the other was Colin Kaepernick saying, you know what, I don't even have a Mercedes. I have a Jaguar. And that kind of just rings kind of, okay, I don't know if that's a humble brag or not, but he never actually came out and said, no, we did not have a fight. And apparently this whole thing is about a former girlfriend of Aldon Smith that Kaepernick has now been romantically linked to. And these are all the gossip page things, the tabloid-type things that you see happen with other teams. You don't necessarily see with a supposed glamour franchise like the 49ers. So all those rumors have been out there for almost a week now. And Colin Kaepernick, the quarterback, the franchise quarterback, the face of the franchise, came out today and denied it all. So except not saying I did not have a fight with him. They were friends. They were friendly. They're both in the same draft class, 2011, so they've known each other a long time. And Kaepernick was very, very heartfelt when he was talking about his former teammate today.
You know, I mentioned the eventful offseason, some of it bad luck, players retiring based on injury. But, you know, there have been issues with this team as well with some of the young players. How important is it, though, and you mentioned this, face of the franchise, for Colin Kaepernick to be the leader of this team, and not only on the field, but how he carries himself off the field as well?
Well, that's a big question there, too, is you know that Colin Kaepernick does a lot of great things charity-wise. Especially for kids with heart problems, and that just comes from his upbringing, being adopted by a family who lost a baby to a heart defect. So he does a lot of good things there. But he's also, I'm going to say, he's kind of picking up a reputation. If he was indeed messing around with a former girlfriend of Aldon Smith, this wouldn't be the first time that he's been accused of that. Matt Barnes from the L.A. Clippers, in congratulating Eric Armstead, the 49ers first-round draft pick out of Sacramento, Matt Barnes' hometown, he basically took a shot at Colin Kaepernick on Twitter and called him a name that I can't say on here based on that assumption. So for the quarterback, you don't want him to be a divisive figure in that locker room. He's got to be the unifying figure. So for him to come out today and basically talk about this when he doesn't like to talk about much, if anything, I think that's a step going forward. But it's also something that bears keeping an eye on going forward as well.
Paul Gutierrez covers the San Francisco 49ers for ESPN. Keep up with the latest offseason news, and there's been plenty of it surrounding the 49ers by keeping it locked on the NFL page right here on ESPN.com. I'm Jim Basquell.